नाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनिये नमः। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयं। नत्वा सरस्वतीं देवीं शुद्धां गुण्यां करोम्यहं पाणिनीयप्रवेशाय लघुसिद्धान्तकौमुदीम्। सुधाटीकायां हलोऽनन्तराः संयोगः इति सूत्रम् अधीयमानमस्ति। हलोऽनन्तराः संयोगः इत्यत्र संयोगः इति विधेयं, हलः अनन्तराः इति उद्देश्यं। हलः इत्यत्र हल शब्दस्य प्रथमा बहुवचनं हल् हलौ हलः। कीदृशाः हलः? अनन्तराः हलः। अविद्यमानम् अन्तरं येषां ते अनन्तराः हलः. A sequence of hull letters or hull letters that are combined together without the vyavadhana of ach letter is basically being called as संयोग. अज्भिः अव्यवहिताः हलः संयोगसंज्ञाः संयोगसंज्ञकाः स्युः। स्वरसंज्ञकवर्णैः व्यवधानशून्याः हल्वर्णाः संयोगसंज्ञकाः इत्यर्थः. So Sudhatika does not have anything over here, परंतु तत्र तस्मिन् सन्दर्भे त्रयः प्रश्नाः मया उपस्थापिताः. Let's go over these three questions. I think we studied the answers to the first two completely. I also discussed or started discussing the answer to the third. We will continue that. So तत्र प्रथमः प्रश्नः अस्ति हलोऽनन्तराः संयोगः इत्यस्मिन् सूत्रे हलः इति बहुवचनं प्रयुज्यते, हल् हलौ हलः, अतः तत्र द्वयोः वर्णयोः संयोगसंज्ञा भवति वा? सो गंगा इत्यत्र गकार नकारस्य संयोगसंज्ञा भवति वा? अम्ब इत्यत्र मकार बकारस्य संयोगसंज्ञा भवति वा? सो द्वयोः वर्णयोः संयोगसंज्ञा भवति वा इति प्रश्ने कृते we saw three different answers given in three different commentaries. So Balamanorama says halau cha halaha iti ekasheshaha. So halau and halaha, the ekashesha of that, halau is dvivachana, halaha is bahuvachana, the ekashesha of that is halaha. Ekasheshasya vidhana samarthyat halau तथा हलः इत्युक्ते द्वौ हल्वर्णौ तथा च अनेके हल्वर्णाः सर्वेषामपि अत्र अस्मिन् सूत्रे ग्रहणं भवति. So this is the first solution given in the Balamanorama. The second solution is given in Tattvabodhini. Halaha iti jatau bahuvachanam jatyakhyayam ekasmin bahuvachanam anyatarasyam iti vachanat. So jatyakhyayam ekasmin bahuvachanam anyatarasyam iti sutrena yatra jati nirdeshah asti तत्र एकवचनस्य विधानं कर्तुं पर्यायेण द्विवचनस्यापि विधानं कर्तुं बहुवचनं प्रयुज्यते इति आशयः. अतः अत्र हल् इति वर्णानां जातिः इति स्वीकृत्य जात्याख्यायाम् एकस्मिन् बहुवचनम् इत्यस्य प्रयोगं कृत्वा. So this sutra technically only has ekasmin bahuvachanam. We are extrapolating it to say dvayoho api bahuvachanam. So only when two letters are there, still we can apply the sutra because halaha can capture that case also by the jati nirdesha. So that was the second answer. The third answer is actually very simple. It is given in Laghu Shabdendu Shekhara. He says hal iti bahuvachanam sautram. He says it's basically what Panini wants to do. Technically it should be halau or halaha all. So hal iti bahuvachanam sautram yadva halaucha halascha iti ekasheshaha. He also gives the solution written in Balamanorama. This is ekashesha, or you can have hala iti bahuvachanam sautram. अनेन प्रकारेण प्रथमः प्रश्नः हलोऽनन्तराः संयोगः इत्यत्र हलः इति बहुवचनम् अस्ति, तत्र द्विवचनस्य कथं निर्देशः, तस्य उत्तरं लभ्यते. The next question that we took in this context, we also studied the answer in details, is अत्र वर्णसमुदायस्य संयोगसंज्ञा भवति उत प्रत्येकं वर्णस्य पृथक् संयोगसंज्ञा भवति. When you have say na, the, ra in Indra, is each letter separately being called संयोग or is the entire group being called संयोग? So तत्र उभयथा अस्माभिः दृष्टं वृद्धिरादैच् इत्यत्र आ ऐ औ इत्येतेषां वृद्धिसंज्ञा भवति इत्युक्ते किम्? आकारस्य ऐकारस्य औकारस्य च पृथक् पृथक् वृद्धिसंज्ञा भवति. On the other hand, प्राक्कडारात् समासः इत्यत्र समासः इति संज्ञा भवति इत्यस्य कः अर्थः? राजपुरुषः इत्यस्य युगपत् समाससंज्ञा भवति. So we saw both the pakshas. In some pakshas, the individual members of the group get the samnya. In other pakshas, the entire group gets the samnya. we also saw two different paribhashas supporting our argument. The first paribhasha says pratyekam vakya parisamaptihi. Pratyekam vakya parisamaptihi means the videya will individually go to the uddeshas one by one. Pratyekam vakya parisamaptihi. When you say vruddhiradaich, the vriddhi samnya will go to a separately, I separately, and au separately. And the drishtanta given by Nagesha is Devadattadayaha bhujyantam. When you say Devadattadayaha bhujyantam, the Devadatta and Adi have a separate anvaya with bhujyantam. Devadatta should also be fed, and the others, Yajnadatta, Vishnadatta, whatever are there, are also should be fed. You can't just feed Devadatta and say Devadattadayaha bhojitaha. You cannot say like that. You have to do the anvay with each of them separately. So that is pratyekam vakya parisamapti. But if we only accept this nyaya, then we have a problem over here, because then the individual letters will be called sanyoga, whereas we want the entire unit to be called as sanyoga. So immediately Nagesha gives the next paribhasha, kvachit samudaye api. Kutrachit samudayasya api samnya bhavati. So exactly opposite paksha. Kvachit samudaye api. Kutrachit samudayasya samnya bhavati. So nanu sanyoga samnya. This is an example. This is a place where sanyoga samnya will be used. Samasa samnya. This is how the samasa samnya will also be defined. Abhyasta samnya. Ubhebhyastam. When a dvitva happens, both of them together are called abhyasta. The previous one alone is called not abhyasta separately. The next one is not called abhyasta separately. Both of them are together called abhyasta. So sanyoga samnya, samasa samnya, abhyasta samnya, etaha samnyaha samudayasya ishyante. परंतु अत्र किं भवेत्? केवलं प्रत्येकं वाक्यपरिसमाप्तिः इति वदामश्चेत् एताः संज्ञाः अपि प्रत्येकं स्युः. And therefore he says, let me put for other paksha also, क्वचित् समुदायेपि, कुत्रचित् समुदायस्य विषये अपि संज्ञाः भवन्ति. What is the example? गर्गाः शतं दण्ड्यन्ताम्. गर्गाः इति गार्ग्यः इत्यस्य बहुवचनं. गार्ग्यः, गार्ग्यौ, गर्गाः. Gargya, the family of Gargas, should be fined, say 100 coins. It doesn't mean you have to collect 100 coins from individual person. Like a property tax that you pay these days, it's a tax on the property, not on the individual person sitting in the property. So it's basically just entire samuha will give 100 coins as one fine. So both the pakshas are acceptable. So when we have a question, which paksha to be used when, he just says lakshanurodhena cha vyavastha. You see what is the final goal that you want to achieve, and you create a siddhanta to support that. So lakshanurodhena cha vyavastha, atra asmabhi kim ishyate, atra sanyogaha iti samudayasya samnya ishyate. So we use the kvachit samudayepi paksha. Why do you need the sanyoga samnya for the entire samuha? If you give the sanyoga samnya for the individual entities, then there won't be meaning left to the sutras like sanyogantasya lopaha and so on. Individual letters at the end or at the beginning of such a sanyoga will also be removed. So durgachati, nirgachati. What is there? Nir plus gachati. Now, if you keep on giving sanyoga samnya to each of them separately, ra is a sanyoga samnya on its own. So, padante vidyamanasya sanyogasya sanyogantasya lopa ityanena lopaha bhavet. So, then ra will anyway go away. You don't want that. Therefore, the sanyoga samnya cannot be given for each of the individual entities. It should be given for the samuha as such.
So, in Nir Mahodaya, like a repa, how will it get Sayoga Samya, you're saying?
If pratyekam vakya parisamapti siddhanta is the only siddhanta that we accept, then in nirgachati, r and g are separate sanyogas.
R and g, right?
Yes,
R and
r and g
g.
are separate sanyogas in nirgachati. If we apply pratyekam vakya parisamapti, that's what we don't want to apply. We want to apply kvachit samudayepi. R and g together must get a sanyoga samya.
No, even if you get Sayoga Samya for Repa and Gakara, how do you say it will be removed?
Because sanyogantasya lopaha, what does the sutra say? Sanyogantam yat padam. Nir is a pada. तस्य
Yes.
अन्ते विद्यमानः रेफः संयोगसंज्ञः तदन्तस्य लोपः स्यात्.
अस्तु.
Okay, because of प्रत्येकं वाक्यपरिसमाप्ति. So that takes us to the third question. We just started that question, but I don't think we completed the discussion. So the third question is yatra bahavaha halvarnaha santi indra nadara kartsnya ratasanaya yatra aneke halvarnaha kramena santi tatra samudayasya संयोग संज्ञा उत द्वयोः पृथक रूपेण संयोग संज्ञा. So in Indra, is it na plus the as one sanyoga and the plus ra as another sanyoga, or is it nather ra as one sanyoga? This is the question, that the third question that we asked ourselves. And tatra bhashye asmin vishaye mahati charcha api kruta vartate. We do not want to go all the way in the bhashya at this stage, but the gist that I mentioned in the previous classes, Tattva Bodhini says that it doesn't really matter. So Tattva Bodhinyam ki bhuktam asti yatra bahavaha halaha samshlishtaha. When there are two or more halas coming together, tatra dvayoho samnya bahunam cha samnya avisheshena. So Bhashyakara does a detailed discussion on this topic. So the conclusion that he comes up, or at least the way Tattva Bodhini puts it, is that whether there is some Sanyoga Samnya for two or whether there is a Sanyoga Samnya for Aneka, it won't really matter. As long as you give the Sanyoga Samnya for both of them. So Bahunam api Sanyoga Samnya, Dvayoho api Sanyoga Samnya. As long as you accept that, it won't be a problem. What it means is that Bahunam Sanyoga Samnya bhavati chet doshaha na jayate. द्वयोः संयोग संज्ञा भवति चेदपि दोषः न जायते, as long as you have the other one to complement it. So यत्र बहवः हलः संश्लिष्टाः तत्र द्वयोः संज्ञा बहूनां च संज्ञा अविशेषेण. अविशेषेण means without distinguishing between the two. You can have संयोग संज्ञा for two, you can have संयोग संज्ञा for many. As long as you have both the pakshas with you, you don't have to worry. इति तत्र आशयः अस्ति. Now, the reason why he says in such a vague statements is that, to be very honest, and this is explained in Laghu Shabdendu Shekhara, this is what I'm going to explain right now, is that you only need the Sanyoga Samnya for two entities at once. X plus Y. If you have a configuration like X plus Y plus Z, you need a Sanyoga Samnya for X plus Y. You need a Sanyoga Samnya for Y plus Z. For X plus Y plus Z, the entire Samuha, whether there is a Sanyoga Samnya or not, we really don't care. So what he says is that Yatra Bahunam Eva Sanyoga Samnya Syat. If you take one paksha where only X plus Y plus Z is called Sanyoga and X plus Y is not called Sanyoga or Y plus Z is not called Sanyoga, then there is a problem. So Dvayoho Sanyoga Samnya Avashyam Avashyaki. बहूनां संयोग संज्ञा भवेत् उत न भवेत् तत्र किमपि प्रयोजनं न वर्तते. So that's exactly what Nagesha also explains in Shekhara. Bahunam iti chintyameva phalabhavat. You may give the sanyoga samnya for a x plus y plus z configuration. We don't care. But there is no phala for that. There is no particular reason to give a sanyoga samnya for a big configuration like x plus y plus z, as long as you give the sanyoga samnya for x plus y and y plus z, is what the essence of the argument of Bhashya is. Yatra kevalam bahunam sanyoga samnya tatra doshah jayate. Kidrushah doshah will explain in 5 minutes. Parantu tatra doshah jayate. Yatra dvayoho sanyoga samnya kriyate tatra doshah na vartate. So either we put it in a way ubhayatha karotu, or we say dvayoho पृथक रूपेण संयोग संज्ञा स्यात्. बहुनां भवेत् उत द्वयोः भवेत्. परन्तु तत्र केवलं बहुनां भवेत् इति पक्षः स्वीक्रियते चेत् दोषः आगच्छति. किमर्थम् एतादृशं वयं वदामः? द्वयोः संयोगसंज्ञा आवश्यकी. The संयोग संज्ञा for two individual entities is required. Why is it required? We say there is a proof given by Panini. Look at the sutram over here. Skoho sanyogadyor antecha. This is a proof, direct proof given by Panini that he wants the sanyoga samnya of two entities separately when there are three halas together. यत्र x plus y plus z इति अस्ति तत्र x plus y इत्यस्य अपि संयोग संज्ञा भवेत्. The proof of that is कोः संयोगाद्योरन्ते च. Why is this a proof? Look at this. What is the सूत्रार्थ? यह संयोगः, forget about पदस्य अन्ते part, यह संयोगः झल वर्णात् पूर्वं विद्यते. What does it mean? It means that there is a sanyoga x plus y and there is a jhal letter immediately next. So that z is the jhal letter. Now, if we only take the paksha of bahunam sanyoga samnya, then x plus y cannot be called a sanyoga because there is the jhal sitting next to it. It will be the part of the sanyoga. Is everybody getting what I'm saying? Yah sanyogaha jhal varnat avyavahita rupena purvaha vidyate. Let's take the example of this masja. In this configuration, masja plus ta, the sakara jakara is being considered a sanyoga, and then skoho sanyogadyorante gets rid of the sakara because there is a jhal letter in front. Masja plus ta ityatra sakara jakaryoho संयोगः अस्मात् संयोगाद् अनन्तरं त इति झल वर्णः अस्ति. What does the sutra say? यह संयोगः झल वर्णात् पूर्वं विद्यते. For a sanyoga which occurs before jhal, the beginning sa of that sanyoga will be removed. So atra sa plus ja must be called a separate sanyoga. If you only take the bahunam paksha, the sa plus ja plus ta will be called sanyoga. Sa plus ja cannot be called sanyoga. But if sa plus ja cannot be called sanyoga, what is the point in saying jhali pare? Panini himself says jhali pare. Skoho sanyoganत्योरन्ते च इत्यत्र झलो झलि इत्यतः झलि इति अनुवर्तते. संयोगाद्योः skoho झलि लोपः. So there must be a sanyoga called x plus y, and there must be a jhal letter after that sanyoga which is not part of sanyoga, which means the sanyoga must be dvayoho. Is a clear proof given by Panini. That's exactly what Nagesha says. Yatrapi bahavaha shlishtaha. When you have a configuration like x plus y plus z, tatra api dvayoho eva x plus y must be called a separate sanyoga. Jhali pare sanyogadilopa vidhana. Sanyogadilopa has been told in presence of jhala. Jhala is the z in your x plus y plus z. X plus y must be separately considered a sanyoga to make it eligible for jhali pare. So now this is a very trivial or this is a very obvious proof that dvayoho eva sanyoga samnya bhavet. Bahunam sanyoga samnya bhavet ityasya pramanam nasti. But then there is another example demonstrated in Tattva Bodhini. It's slightly complicated to understand, but as like everything else in our course, let's go over this. It's very interesting actually. It will open completely different way of thinking in front of you. So let's understand this. So tatra तत्वबोधिन्याम् अस्मिन् सन्दर्भे किमुच्यते? यदि तु बहुनामेव संयोगसंज्ञा स्यात् तर्हि गोमान् करोति इत्यत्र मतुपस्तकारस्य संयोगान्तलोपो न स्यात् इति दिक्. सो यदि केवलं समुदायस्य एव संयोगसंज्ञा भवति, पृथक् पृथक् संयोगसंज्ञा न भवति, तर्हि गोमान् करोति इत्यत्र प्रक्रियायां दोषः जायते इति तत्र तस्य विधानम् अस्ति. Now what is this goman karoti? Goman is a person who has cows. Gavaha asya santi. Saha goman, cowboy. Saha kimapi karoti. Goman karoti. Now in this prakriya, you have something called as gomat plus su plus karoti. Gomat is the pratipadikam, su is the pratyaya, karoti is the kriyapadam over there. Now there is, before we move ahead, there is something else that I need to explain over here. Till now, whatever Vyakarana you have learned, you are always used to do the prakriya of individual words separately. So for example, Ramaha patham pathati iti vakyam asti chedapi Ramaha ityasya prithak rupena prakriya, patham ityasya prithak rupena prakriya, pathati ityasya prithak rupena prakriya likhyate. The problem is that in Vyakarana Shastra, individual words have no existence on their own. The artha can only be imparted when there is a full sentence. Vakyenaiva artha bodhaha bhavati. So those of you who have studied little bit of Bhushanasara will know this Siddhanta from Bhushanasara. So this has also been explained in additional granthas like Vaiyakarana Siddhanta, Manjusha and so on, that Vakya Sphotaha eva Mukhyaha. So individual padas really are not the way how the prakriya goes on. Therefore, in the Vyakarana Shastra, there is a community of scholars who believe that the Prakriya should also be written. Pay attention to this very carefully. Prakriya should also be written for an entire Vakya and not for individual words. This is called Vakya Samskara Paksha. This is also called as Vibhajya Anvakhyana Paksha. The point is, in the Vakya Samskara Paksha, you don't write the Prakriya for Ramaha separately, Patham separately, and Patati separately. You write the entire statement, Rama, Su, Patha, Patha, Shaptip. You write the whole thing and then you combine. How does it differ? The way it differs is that when you only write Rama plus Su, only Rama can interact with Su and Su can interact with Rama. But when you write Rama plus Su plus Patha plus plus Shap plus Tip, that Su might be able to interact with Patha because there is Patha sitting next to it. So because of the additional components in the Prakriya, some or the other places there might be a difference in the Prakriya. So in that Vakya Samskara Paksha, the Goman Karoti Prakriya will be written as Goman plus Su plus Kru plus U plus Tip. But you don't need that. So I have just added that up and said Karoti. That further part of the Prakriya is not relevant. So the K bit is relevant. Everything else is not relevant. So Gomat plus Su plus Karoti. Ityatra kim bhavati. Now I don't want to go in the detailed sutras that you have not studied, but just take my words for it. In the first step, ma becomes ma. The sutra is called Atvasattasya cha dhatoho. So it becomes gomat plus sa plus karoti. In the next step, there is a numagama happening between the ma and the ta. So goma na ta sa karoti. Okay, so these karyas are familiar to you. The sutras may not be familiar to you, but like upadha dirgha is not a new thing. Numagama is not a new thing. So atvasantasya cha dhatoho iti upadha dirgha bhavati, ugitacham sarvanamasthanya dhato iti numagamaha bhavati. Now in this stage, the स goes away by हलङ्ग्याभ्यो दीर्घात् सुतिस्य पृक्तं हल हलन्ताद् ण्यन्तात् आबन्तात् च विहितस्य अपृक्त सुप्रत्ययस्य लोपः भवति. So स प्रत्यय goes away and you say न त and k. At this stage, what you actually want is the takara lopa by संयोगान्तस्य लोपः. गोमान्त इति पदमस्ति, तत्र नकार तकारस्य संयोगं स्वीकृत्य तकारलोपः इष्यते. But now, if you only take the samudayasya sanyoga samnya paksha, then the sanyoga will be nataka and not nata. यदि नत इति संयोगः नास्ति तर्हि तकारस्य संयोगान्तलोपः न सम्भवति. एंड नतक इत्यत्र क संयोगस्य अन्ते अस्ति, परन्तु तस्य लोपः न सम्भवति यतः तत्र पदान्तत्वं नास्ति. संयोगान्तस्य लोपः इत्यनेन संयोगान्तं यत् पदं तदन्तस्य लोपः भवति. So nat, this is a padanta. But if you only take the samudayasa sanyoga samnya paksha, then nat cannot be called a sanyoga. You have only nataka as a sanyoga. So ta cannot be removed. And ka is not at padanta, so ka cannot be removed. So nothing can be removed, and you cannot create a prayoga goman karoti. You will have to create a prayoga gomant karoti. This will be a problem. So in the Vakya Samskara Paksha, there is a problem over here. That's exactly what Tattvabodhini says. Gomant karoti ityatra takarasya matupaha takarasya matu pratyasya takarasya संयोगान्त लोपः न स्यात् इति दोषः जायते. So bahunam संयोग संज्ञा यदि स्यात् तर्हि गोमान्त करोति इत्यत्र मतुपः तकारस्य संयोगान्त लोपः न स्यात् इति दोषः जायते. अतः अत्र द्वयोः पृथग् रूपेण एव संयोग संज्ञा वक्तव्या. So we saw two jnapakas, or we saw two examples. Gomant karoti is one example, and the direct example or the direct jnapaka given by Panini is a sko sanyogadyorante. He clearly says that sanyoga must be followed by jhal, which means jhal is not the part of the sanyoga.
Mahoday, that he's written iti dik over here with the alpa prana dakara.
Not dik.
That's what.
This is a style of writing. Iti dik means this is the direction to think. Anytime, this is a common statement and you should remember and you should use this in the research papers that you, if or ever, would write. Iti dik is a standard way of indicating that an argument has ended. Like in mathematics, there is QED, which means that the
Yeah,
argument
yeah.
is ended. This Sanskrit version of QED is iti dik. Iti dik, this is the direction. Ityalam, iti api ashaya. Adhikam kim
Is this
vaktavyam. This is sufficient. Okay, and Sudhaji, now you see, if instead of iti dik, if you say iti dik, how will the meaning change? The entire meaning will flip. So, iti dik iti asti, not iti dik. Samnya Prakaranasya Antimam Sutram Suptingantam Padam. You all know this, you are all experts. Subantam Tingantam Cha Pada Samyam Syat. Always start the sutram by asking what is Vidheya and what is Uddesha. Even when you are doing this in your normal Laghu Siddhanta Kaumudi class, always start asking this question. What is Uddesha and what is Vidheya? Padam iti Vidheyam, Padasya Vidhanam Kriyate, Padam iti Vidheyam, Suptingantam iti Uddesham. Subantam iti Padam Bhavati, Tigantam iti Padam Bhavati, Pratyekam Vakya Parisamaaptihi. Now we go back to the original Nyaya. Pratyekam Vakya Parisamaaptihi. So Suptingantam ityatra कथम समास विग्रहः सुप च तिङ च सुप्तिङौ सुप्तिङौ अन्ते यस्य तत् सुप्तिङन्तं शब्दस्वरूपम् बहुव्रीहि सुप्तिङन्तं शब्दस्वरूपम् अन्त शब्दः प्रत्येकम् अभिसंबध्यते सुप्तिङन्तं doesn't mean an entity which ends in subanta and tinganta. That cannot be there. So anta shabdah pratyekam abhisambadhyate. So that's, I think, who says this? I say it, but along with me somebody else also say it. Here anta shabdah pratyekam abhisambadhyate. No, the reason I say is when you keep on reading commentaries, these sentences go in your brain and you start speaking like that. So I knew that there was something like this. So anta shabdah pratyekam abhisambadhyate tad etad abhiprityah subanta ityadina. So anta goes separately with the sup, so subantam. Anta goes separately with ting, so tingantam. Supting iti स्वौज समाउट इति सूत्रे सु इति आरभ्य सुपः इति पकारेण प्रत्याहारः. So su aujas am auchas, in that sutra you take the first su and last pa. Why not only last super? So su aujas am aucha and so on, ni os sup. So why not take that sup? Vyakhyaanato vishesha pratipattihi. There is no other answer. Natu saptami bahuvachanasya eva atra grahanam vyakhyaanat. So व्याख्यानात् तत्र अस्य सु इत्यस्मात् आरभ्य प इत्यस्यैव ग्रहणम्. तिप्तस्जि इत्यस्य विषये ति इत्यस्मात् आरभ्य महिङ् इत्यत्र ङकारेण सह प्रत्याहारः. सुप् च तिङ् च सुप्तिङौ तौ अन्ते यस्य तत्सुप्तिङन्तं शब्दस्वरूपम् इति शब्दशास्त्र प्रस्तावात् व्याकरण नियमात् इति लभ्यते. अंत शब्दः प्रत्येकं संबध्यते. सो सुबन्तं तिङन्तं सुप्तिङन्तं padam iti samnya prakaranam. It's very trivial sutra. There is nothing to explain in this sutra except for one point. Atra sutre antagrahanam kimartham kriyate. Why not say supting padam?
The pratyayanta only, right?
So yena vidhis tadantesya ityanena tadantagrahanam bhavati. So supting padam ityatra api yena vidhis tadantesya ityanena tadantagrahane krute subantam tingantam cha padam.
विधिः नास्ति खलु, अत्र संज्ञा अस्ति.
So samnya is, you can consider it as a vidhi. So vidhi is any definition that is given, but almost there. So tatra vastutaha suptingantam padam iti sutrameva jnapaka rupena svikriyate. The suptingantam padam ityatra vidyamanam antagrahanam etad darshayati yat samnyayaha vidhanam yada kriyate tada तदंत विधेः प्रयोगः न करणीयः. संज्ञा विधौ प्रत्ययग्रहणे तदंत विधिर्नास्ति. प्रत्ययस्य ग्रहणं कृत्वा यत्र संज्ञा उच्यते. When a samnya is told using a pratyaya, tadant vidhi cannot be applied. This sutra is taken as a jnapaka. See, if you just say supting padam, tadanta vidhi was possible. If tadanta vidhi was possible, there was no need to say suptingantam padam. So suptinganta padam itself tells us that tadanta vidhi is not possible. So kutra tadanta vidhi na sambhavati? Yatra samnyayaha vidhanam kriyate pratyay grahanam na bhavati. Tatra सुप्तिङन्तं पदमिति सूत्रमेव ज्ञापकरूपेण प्रयुज्य अयं नियमः क्रियते संज्ञाविधौ प्रत्ययग्रहणे तदन्तग्रहणं नास्ति. So in yena vidhistadantस्य सूत्रार्थ, one of the very detailed sutrarthas over here. So I have listed down all the paribhashas. One of them is samnyavidhau pratyaggrahane tadantaggrahanam nasti. Yatra pratyasya grahanam krutva samnyayaha vidhanam kriyate tatra tadantaggrahanam na bhavati. Therefore, taraptamapaughah, at least some people have memorized 1.1, right? Taraptamapaughah. So here we don't say taraptamabantaughah. We say taraptamapaughah. Contrast this. Suptingantam padam. On the other hand, taraptamapaughah. There is a very similarity. Sup is a pratyaya. Pratyahara in the sense it represents a pratyaya. Ting is a pratyaya. Tarap is a pratyaya. Tamap is a pratyaya. So taraptamapaughah ityatra gha iti samnya diyate. परंतु अत्र अंतग्रहणं नास्ति. सो घ इति संज्ञा तरप् प्रत्ययस्य विषये भवति, तमप् प्रत्ययस्य विषये भवति, तरबान्तस्य विषये न भवति. On the other hand, सुप्तिङन्तं पदं पदसंज्ञा सुप् प्रत्ययस्य संज्ञा नास्ति, सुप् प्रत्ययः यस्य अन्ते तस्य संज्ञा अस्ति, तिङ् प्रत्ययस्य नास्ति, तिङ् प्रत्ययस्य अन्ते तस्य संज्ञा अस्ति. Clear?
Mahodaya, bahugana vatudati sankhya, that is also some like samya only, but dati pratyayantanam tad samya bhavati.
There are exceptions to this. So in bahugana vatudati sankhya, dati ityasyaiva kevalam sankhya samnyayah kimapi prayojanam nasti, atah tatra dati pratyayantasya sankhya samnya kriyate. So there are going to be obviously samarthya nirnaya to be done and exceptions to paribhasha. So antagrahanasya udaharanam kim? Suptingantam padam. Antagrahanam nasti ityasya udaharanam kim? Taraptamapaughah. यत्र अंतग्रहणं नास्ति तत्र प्रत्ययस्य संज्ञा भवति, यत्र अंतग्रहणम् अस्ति तत्र प्रत्ययान्तस्य संज्ञा भवति. If tadantavidi would had applied or would had kicked in, then whether it is taraptamapaughah or whether it is suptingantam padam, it would always be tadantasya. But the tadantavidi is blocked. Samnyavidhu pratyagrahane tadantagranam nasti.
When
Any
we say
questions?
arthat tadatura pratyayah, atra pratyaya tadavi samnya sutram pratyayasya api cha pratyayanta.
But the current paribhasha is not applicable over there because pratyayasya grahanam na kriyate. Pratyayati shabdasya grahanam kriyate. That's different. What we are talking is pratyayasya grahanam krutva, like tamap iti pratyayah, sup iti pratyayah, dati iti pratyayah. In arthvadadhatur pratyay pratipadikam kasyapi pratyasya grahanam na krutamasti. So this paribhasha is not applicable over there. You see the difference between these concepts, where that in current concept the sup is a pratyaya, dati was a pratyaya, tarap is a pratyaya. We are talking about individual pratyayas. Yatra sutre pratyayasya vishesha rupena nirdesham krutva samnya vidhanam kriyate. Whereas what is arthvadadhatur pratyay pratipadikam? There is no pratyaya being defined. The word pratyaya is used, but no pratyaya has been quoted. So one question that I have is, I gave you one example in each category. Antagrahanam asti tatra suptingantam padam iti udaharanam. Antagrahanam nasti tatra tarapnamapaughah iti udaharanam. I want you to give me one more example of each category. Give me one example where antagrahanam will cause tadanta vidhi. Give me another example where antagrahanam nasti, so tadanta vidhi na bhavati. You are familiar with all the sutras that I expect.
Tattavatu nishtha.
Very good. Taktavatu nishtha. Kta pratyayasya nishtha samnya bhavati. Kta pratyayantasya nishtha samnya na bhavati. That's the example of the second category. What is the example of the first category? Where antagrahana is there and the entire thing will get the samnya. Everybody of you is familiar with the sutram.
Is it Shnanta Shat?
Shnanta shat ityatra sh and no are not pratyayas. So that won't match in the current context. Shall I give you the answer? Or you want to think for a minute?
Is it sanadyantaha dhatavah?
Very good. Sanadyanta dhatavaha. Sanadi is a pratyaya category. Sanadi antaha dhatavaha. Sanadyantaha dhatavaha. Clear? So sanadyantaha dhatavaha. You have to remember these examples. Sanadyantaha dhatavaha and suptinganta padam fall in one category. Taraptamapaughah and ktaktavatu nishtha fall in another category. Very good. ओके अनेन प्रकारेण किं समाप्तं सुधाटीकायाः संज्ञाप्रकरणं समाप्तम्